Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bourbon Bites Whiskey Reviews with a gaming twist. I'm your host, Clifton, and today we are reviewing rye whiskey. It's been a minute since we've done an all rye stream. Yes, I did it and got it out of the way. But yeah, today we're doing Old Overholt Rye Whiskey. One of the bottles that I feel like doesn't get a lot of attention in the industry. We see so many high rye ryes that I feel like we ignore some of these. We don't know the mash bill of this one. I don't know if it's a high rye, low rye, but we do know that this comes to us from the Jim Beam Distillery. It's been a really old brand. Like it's one of the oldest original ryes in the U.S. Has a long history, goes all the way back to Pennsylvania, but right now it's distilled in Kentucky. So what I'm excited to do is go through and taste through four different expressions of Old Overholt Rye, two of which I was able to find locally here in Southern California, two of which are samples from our good friend Swan, who happened to make it here tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in, Swan. He gave me these samples a while back ago. I've had such a backlog of streams to get through that I finally have done it. And it seems a lot of people are excited about this one, so I'm really excited to get into it. So first question, while I'm saying hello to everyone, do y'all see Old Overholt in your area, or is it not available? It's funny, I hear, like, some people say that they can't get any Old Overholt at all in their area, like us. We can only get the bonded and the standard. We can't get any of the higher end ones. Whereas the people on the other side of the country can't get Old Grandad 114 or anything like that. I'm like, "Oh, we have plenty of that." So it's like, we need to do a bit of a swap to find it in our area. But I'm just curious if you guys could tell me where y'all are in the world, and can you find Old Overholt Rye? Very, very curious. See, high five is here. John Shope, all the way from Catoctin Creek. John, good to see you, man. It's been a minute. It's been a while since I've had Catoctin Creek as well. Hopefully, y'all are doing some great things as always over there. I've done a stream with them. Please go check out the replay of that. It's been a while, but man, good to see you. Glad to see you here in the chat. Steven Sussman's here. Steven is an amazing mod of our Discord server, which is where we'll be doing a lot of fun activities coming up, including our second annual monthly movie night. That's where we stream a 80s movie on Discord, have a bit of a watch party, a hangout after. That's available to Patreon members. I got a little banner to pop up here about that if y'all are curious. It's happening this Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. We're going to watch The Princess Bride. It'll be my first time watching it. I know, don't judge me, but I have not seen that movie before, so we're going to watch it live together on Discord, hang out, have a great time. So if y'all want to check that out, make sure to check out patreon.com/bourbonbites. Who else is here? William Hall is in the chat. Good to see you, William. Thanks for stopping back in. Donzette was on a work call for 45 minutes. Well, hopefully you are back now and are enjoying the show. Brandon in Delaware, first of all, gets a huge shout out because Brandon and Ryan are our latest patrons. Y'all go show them some love. They just joined Patreon last week. They're now Bourbon Megabytes, which means they get access to our after party hangout. So hopefully I'll see y'all tonight. If not tonight, hopefully sometime soon. And make sure y'all have status on Discord. So make sure you can see the hangout room, the after party hangout room, and hopefully maybe I'll see you tonight. Maybe not. If not, still hope to see you soon. Whiskey Pears in the house. What's up, Aaron? Good to see you. Zopher's here. I'm here for some rye. And Tater Dom says, cheers, Cliff and chat. Well, cheers to you. Don Ishida all the way from Hawaii. Don, good to see you. Don's here. He's already won. There's not a giveaway tonight, unfortunately, but if I had more Old Overholt in our area, I would gladly do a giveaway. Unfortunately, I don't have very much of it here. So Adam Freeze in the chat. What's up, Adam? Adam's another great patron of the show. We had a local joint sold Old Overholt 114 for $14. We scooped up many. Holy crap. That's awesome. Jealous. That's way lower than it should be. That's awesome. That's like half price. Scott Moody says, cheers, y'all. Cheers to you, Scott. Hope you're doing well. Hope you have something good in your glass. Yeah, good to see you. I can get all the old granddad stuff, but the Old Overholt, just the base stuff. Same here, man. Same here. No old Overholt, but I was able to grab a few Old Granddad 114 from K&L in LA. K&L is my go-to spot for. It's not my like closest spot. It's a bit like a 25-30 minute drive, but love K&L. They have some really awesome bottles and some really great folk there. So yeah, love, big fan of K&L. But this bottle, actually, the only one I didn't have was the standard one, the 4-year-old Overholt. I just ran there's a new Total Wine in my area that just opened up, so I just ran like a couple hours ago and grabbed this bottle. So glad to finally have it. One Mo Cast is here as well. Cheers to you, my friend. Well, I think we've said hello to everyone. Let's get something in our glass, shall we? So, as I mentioned, this is my most recent purchase. I have cracked the seal on it just earlier, but yeah, 4-year-old Old Overholt Straight Rye Whiskey. I'll show you the label there. Non-chill filter. Now they've recently updated this. So this didn't used to be a non-chill filtered product. It was just wasn't labeled as such. It was also used to be 80 proof, but they bumped the proof up to 86 proof. They made this change in 2020. They updated the line. That's why a lot of these special editions just came out. They were very, very limited. This one, of course, is just a replacement for the standard line. So there's plenty of this out there. But yeah, let's go and get something in our glass. Like I said, we don't know the mash bill of this. We do know it's a Kentucky rye based on a Pennsylvania rye that was the original brand. Started in 1810, by the way. Like I said, one of the oldest rye whiskey brands in the U.S. This bottle came in at $16, according to my local Total Wine about 2 hours ago. Price may vary depending on the area, but this is the lowest price of them all. So 4-year-old, $16, 86 proof. I don't see anything to complain about there, right? Based on that, which makes you wonder: is this the best budget Kentucky rye on the market? We'll find out. Well, as we taste through these, I don't have much experience. Definitely haven't tried the 11-year or the 114 ever before, so it's gonna be a first impressions kind of stream. But hopefully, y'all are here for it. Hopefully, y'all are gonna have a good time. Let me know what you're drinking. If you're drinking some ryes, whether it's Old Overholt or any other rye, let me know what you are having in the chat. Let's see. Bourbon says just give away Knob Creek rye. Same stuff. That's a good point. I didn't compare. I didn't know for sure if it was the same mash bill. I know, like I said, the mash bill is undisclosed. I don't have Knob Creek rye to compare it to, but we're sticking strictly to Old Overholt with this stream. But if y'all want to see some comparisons, happy to do another stream here soon. Zen Boot says, cheers. I love me some rye. Well, me too. It's been a minute. I've been doing some weird streams. I did some Irish whiskey last week. Ended up doing 2 streams last week. Wasn't the plan. Samples arrived late, but we did 2 streams. It was St. Patrick's Day, so why not? Or St. Patrick's Day Eve. So yeah, had a great time last week. We've been doing some scotches. But now let's get into some rye. Rye whiskey is one of my favorite types of whiskey. So let's give that a nose. It's interesting. It's sweeter than I guess I expected. It's less of the spicy rye. It's leaning more towards like a honey kind of sweetness. Maybe some like, I don't want to say sprinkles, but some of that like white sugar, some granulated sugar for sure. Very, very bright. I do wish I knew a little bit more about the mash bill. If anyone has any insight into like what it might be, would love to know. I saw some speculation online, but didn't really see much confirmation. But based on the nose alone, it doesn't smell like a high rye. And if it is, it's very interesting what they're doing, whether the mash bill or aging or something. It's very interesting. James Taylor is here. James, good to see you. Saying hello to everyone. I pass the old Granddad Distillery every day waking up. Oh, growing up. Oh, that's cool, man. That's what's great about Kentucky, right? There's so many amazing distilleries, all like just ingrained in the communities. And I've only visited once so far, but I hope to go back soon. I was actually looking. I was trying to find stuff to do for Memorial Day weekend, and that crossed my mind. But I'm like, flights are like really expensive that weekend, so I'm like, can't do it this year. Maybe sometime in the future. When my cast said I will have to go grab a rye after I finish this Rebel in the glass. Well, good choice. Rebel, love Rebel. They're actually sending me. There's a new Rebel Rye 100 proof that's coming out. They're sending me a sample. I can't wait to review that one. Love the Rebel 100 bourbon. Can't wait to try the Rebel 100 rye. Yeah, so many fun releases that are expected to come out this year. I hope to get my hands on as many as I can. Hopefully, hopefully I'm on some media list. I always love getting samples to review, give my honest opinions on them. But yeah. But let's revisit the nose on this one because it was really interesting. I like I said, I got some sweet, got some honey, maybe a little bit of like a. This is a note I don't use very often, but like a white flower, like a flower petal kind of nose. It's floral, but not quite like a pollen or like a, like super like fragrant flower. More of just like a white flower. I've heard people say that before. Never really. I don't know if I've used it on my channel or not, but it's like very light, very sweet. Yeah, I gotta go in for a sip to get a real true impression of this one. So this is the Old Overholt 4-year 86 proof rye. Cheers, y'all. Hmm. Even though it's 86 proof, it is light. It's very, very easy to drink. I mean, this is the first whiskey of my night, and I'm already like thinking like, okay, where are we going from here? Because we only go up in proof, which is exciting. Um, it's the floral is reading less floral on the palate and going a little more minty, like you would kind of expect from a rye. It's more of like a wintergreen mint, dare I say? Like it's not like a usually when I get mint, it's more of like a very strong like peppermint kind of note, but this one's very like again still vegetal, I guess in a way. Yeah, it's got like either like I don't know the difference between spearmint and wintergreen mint, but like something in that realm, something very crisp and less leafy, if that makes sense. Yeah, going back to the nose though, now that I've tasted it, I'm getting a little bit more of a it's like a salty, savory kind of thing going on. Oh, that could be the malt. There could be some malt, whether it's malted rye or some malted barley. Again, I don't know the mash bill, but it's interesting. After you taste it, you go back to the nose. It's changed up quite a bit because your palate's kind of acclimated a bit. Yeah, it's not dark at all. It's not like old. It's 4 years old, right? But it has some depth to it, some like roasty kind of maltiness to it. I think $16. This could make a really great cocktail rye if you don't prefer spirit forward cocktails. I like my especially rye cocktails to be spirit forward, so I want them at least 100 proof ish. This was a little low for me, but this in a Manhattan, let's say you're not into those big spirit forward drinks, 16 bucks, heck yeah, this is probably one of the better um sub $20 ryes I've had. I mean, that's kind of the idea here, right? Like this one, it's nothing that's going to blow your socks off, but it's got that nice rice spiciness, that mintiness. Less spicy though than I would expect. I'm not getting nearly as much rice spice as I've come to know rice to give. But it's got those some of those flavors that I think would translate well into like a Manhattan. For your not super high proof horror friends like that, not myself. I prefer high proof, but yeah. Have y'all had the standard one? That just the new one that's the 86 proof. I'm curious if y'all have seen this on your shelves. Like I said, 2020 they did a bit of a rebranding. They brought this back. They added the age statement. They upped the proof. Added non-chill filtered. As well as introduced the other limited editions we're trying here later. Swan says on some of these you'll get a brown sugar note on a rye. That's interesting. I don't think I'd normally get that on a rye, but I'm excited to see it. Maybe some of the higher proof ones or the older ones as well. Stacy from Four Leaf Whiskey is here. Good to see you, Stacy and Emily. Great folks out here tonight. Good to see y'all. Hope y'all are doing well. Hey, if y'all want to enjoy, I don't know where I'm going. What we want to enjoy. If y'all are enjoying the stream so far and are excited for the rest of the hour, please consider hitting the thumbs up button and subscribing down below. It does mean a lot. I've noticed we've dropped a couple subscribers in the past like couple weeks. Not the most encouraging thing to see, but if you're not yet subscribed, please check out and hit the button. I'm here almost every Thursday night. I will not be live next Thursday. Just a heads up, I'm going to be traveling. We're going to Cabo for my husband's birthday. So looking forward to that trip. So I won't be live next Thursday, but I'll be back the following Thursday. So taking a bit of a vacation. Tony is here. Hi, Cliffy. I'm late. I was changing light bulbs for my pops. Ladders are not either of our comfort zones, but I'm the sun. So, well, how many Tonys does it take to screw in a light bulb? Hopefully, just one. And you made it. You made it through. So good to see you here tonight, Tony. And kudos to you for helping your father. Only rye I've had is the 2022 Midwinters. Very good. Really, James? The only rye whiskey you've had? Wow. So you've got a whole world to explore. Not that it could compare at all to that one, because I'm sure that one's like I didn't have the 2022 one, but that's a great starting place. Heck yeah. Man, I guess I'm not. I don't know if I'm happy for you or like excited for you to explore more. It's just kind of funny. Chris says, "What's up? Don't have a lot of rye open right now, so drinking some Michter's 10 rye. Oh, great choice. I had a couple bottles of that a couple years back. I had a chance to buy three of them, and I bought three, and I gave one to a friend. So really good bottle. Spearmint has less menthol than peppermint. Interesting. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. Like I was thinking like that. Normally with a rye, I get that big hint of that menthol. That's why I normally go peppermint. But yeah, this one definitely leans more towards the more earthy kind of mint. I'm a fan. That's my issue. I don't want mint in my rye. I feel you. I could see that. I just really do enjoy a good rye. So to me, that's a good thing. Thank you so much, Donnie, for dropping that info there. Yes, it does really help out the channel. Thank you. I will try. I always like get really stressed out before a vacation, so I'm looking forward to it. Whiskey Crusaders, Matt, y'all go check out Whiskey Crusaders, an awesome, one of the OG Whiskey Tube channels. They go live on Monday nights, I believe at 7:30 Pacific. Ah, man, I forget the time. They're Central Time, so it's a little hard for me to translate. But y'all go check out Whiskey Crusaders. Love their streams when I can make it. Old Crow is the worst of the three by far. Worst of the three. Oh wait, worst of the three. What? What are we comparing? Because I did a poll on Instagram. So I've asked on Instagram, what's your favorite budget rye? Let's see how that poll's doing. If y'all are not yet following me on Instagram, it's at Bourbon Bites. Same way it's spelled here. No space. Yeah, I asked people what's their favorite budget rye, and I will say there's a leader, and it's not Old Overholt. We'll reveal the results at the end of the stream. Y'all go vote. Like I said, bourbonbites.com, vote in the poll here. Find out let me know your favorite budget rye of the three. Oh, the three olds. Gotcha. Old Granddad, Old Overholt, and Old Crow. Yeah, if those are the three you're talking about, agreed. William says I got a lot of minty eucalyptus, something in the redwood rye, not the cast strength, the general bottle. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think, and redwood they do a blend of where they're sourcing from Indiana, but they're also, I believe, with the rye they're also adding in their own rye mash bill. So that's an interesting one. I did their cast strengths on my channel recently. Did not have the non-cast strength rye, but that's really good to know. Yeah, well, this is a great starting place, but I think I'm ready to move up to higher proof. So we're going to move on to the next one. Now, this one I've had in my collection for a while, actually. This is Old Overholt Bottled in Bond, which y'all know that means it's at least 4 years old. Let's see, single distiller, single season, and aged 4 years. Wow, they give you all that info right there. So it's 100 proof as well. Born in Pennsylvania, made in Kentucky, as with that one. What else did they tell us here? Anything interesting? It's also non-chill filtered, by the way. This is a liter bottle, if you're curious. It's a lot bigger. I don't know exactly what I paid for this, but the 750 milliliter goes for about $24. I think I paid probably 30-ish for this one, but it's a bigger size. So $24-ish, again, 100 proof, 4 years. You're in the same realm as some other budget ryes, which may be in that poll that I linked out earlier. But yeah, going up in proof, same age. Let's see how it affects the whiskey. 10:30 Eastern, that's what I thought. So 7:30 Pacific. I was close. Yeah, y'all go check out Whiskey Crusaders for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and nose the 100 proof, almost a 100-year-old Overholt. Oh, okay. Not only okay, first of all, obviously we can tell in the nose it's higher proof, but there's a little bit more yeastiness going on. I'm getting a bit of that like sour kind of note. It's like a mix of sour and sweet, kind of like I'm trying to think of like it's like an undercooked baked good item. Maybe almost like a pumpkin pie as well. It's got a little bit of like, like I'm trying to place what that kind of sour sweet kind of flavor is. Not like pumpkin spice, but like an actual like pumpkin pie, like the filling. Yeah, it's kind of savory, interestingly enough. Less honey sweet, more of the, like I said, kind of maybe maltiness too. Huh. I will say it does have a more interesting nose. The first one's very pleasant and approachable, the 4 year, the standard one. This one has a little bit more going on, maybe a little bit more depth to it, which I would hope so with 100 proof. So let's give it a try. Cheers. Mm. That 100 proof point just does it for me. The reason I have had this for a while is like this is my go-to cocktail rye. Like if I'm making Manhattan or a Sazerac, I often use this rye. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, it does have more cereal grain to it though. It's more of like a maybe I don't know if it's the maltiness or like a graham crackeriness, but there's like a bit more of like a pie crust, something else going on. Well, Swan said brown sugar. He got on some of these other ones. I think we're starting to go in that territory. It's sweet, but less of the granulated sugar, less of the honey, more of the darker, richer, maybe molasses, slightly. We're not going dark yet. We're still light, but I think there's a lot more character, a lot more. Um, Again, I don't want to say vegetalness to the rye, but there is something a little more herbaceous. Herbaceous, that's better than vegetal. Vegetal is like herbaceous. I like that. Let's go with that one. Yeah, there's a little bit something else extra going on there. Gonna have another sip of that one. What's even interesting is like it's got a tea quality to it. Like, I'm thinking like an oolong tea. Not quite like not like the typical black tea, but a little bit more of those specialty like teas. I love oolong teas. That's the first one that comes to mind. But yeah, that's really nice. I mean, it's a staple in my bar. I think the bump up in proof to make it 100 proof. Not only that, the extra layers of it that I feel like it's giving for $24 versus $16. I think this is worth the extra $8 to upgrade to the 100 proof version, at least in my opinion. If you are okay with the higher proof, it's just more bang for your buck, and in all honesty, but it's also just a lot more flavor and a lot more depth. David Goldman's also in the chat. He says, "Enjoyed your point of the stream with Trev, drinking a bit of Gold Spot right now." Yeah, Stacy's channel is awesome. Always great to see her reviewing some really interesting whiskeys that a lot of us don't see out here. So James said, "I usually like bourbon better than rye, but I like the cask strength Lost Monarch better than the cask strength Pipe Dream." Interesting. Okay, I like the Pipe Dream myself better, but a lot of people love Lost Monarch, so that's interesting to hear. And congrats again, James won those samples. I'm glad that you were able to try them. If I most, oh, y'all talking Irish whiskey. We're talking rye here. Not that y'all can't talk about that. I'm getting distracted. Yeah, let's we're gonna keep all these. We're gonna rank them at the end based on value. But let's keep on chugging, right? Not literally. Please don't chug your Old Overholt unless it's 86 proof. That one's fine. But let's keep it moving. Let's move to the next one. Now, these next two are the specialty ones from our friend Swan. We're gonna start with the highest proof one of the night because I feel like I like to save the 11-year for last because that's the most interesting. Because I've never seen it in my life. Not that I've seen this one, but lot more findable of a bottle of this 114. So, like I said, 114 proof. So going up an additional 14 proof points from the bonded. This is, of course, a 2020 release. Not sure if they've had additional releases since. I assume they might have. I think it's a little more available because when these first came out, they were only available in Ohio and Pennsylvania. They only had 50 barrels in the original batch of these specialty ones. So I think they probably expanded since then. But it's been a minute since Swan sent me these samples. So I'm really, really glad to have a chance to try them. So, first of all, just want to check, make sure the poll is still going. Well, I also want to check because I saw a message coming through from our good friend Tony. He says, "New patron, Tony. Thank you so much. We have a new patron. So Tony, thank you so much for joining the Bourbon Megabyte tier. Of course, I'm offering a free trial of that for 30 days. So if anyone's interested in trying out Patreon, seeing what our after parties are about, check out patreon.com/bourbonbites. The $10 tier has a 30-day free trial. Tony, thank you so much for signing up. I'm going to make sure you have your status on Discord in case you'd like to join us at the after party, as well as Ryan and Brandon, who are also new to Patreon. So thank you. Seriously appreciate the support, and anyone for $2 and up supporting the channel. Y'all are incredible. So let's make sure you got your status. Okay, Tony, you got your status. So thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Hope to see you soon. Ignore our tangent. No, I appreciate it. It's just like I'm like, wait, what are y'all talking about? Like spot? I'm like, oh, you mean like gold spot? Okay, gotcha. This is a regular release now. Thank you, Swan. I didn't realize. I wasn't sure because it was all the reviews of it came out in 2020, so it was kind of hard to find info on recent releases of it. So good to know. Brandon said, or Cohen said, "Did you get the E.H. Taylor for the 39?" Oh, I saw they had it on sale if you bought $100. I didn't. I didn't need $100 worth of stuff. I have a couple bottles of different E.H. Taylors, so didn't. But it was a good deal. I honestly didn't have anything I could think of to buy $100 worth of stuff. But I had a few friends that got the deal. So, but thanks for the heads up. Yeah. So let's go and pour this 114 proof Old Overholt. All right. So, like I said, $30. This one's only about $6 more than the 100 proof. Again, that's less of a jump from the 86 to 100. Jump up 14 proof points for $6. Let's give it a nose. Interestingly enough, we're kind of going back towards the sweet. To me, it's more of that floral honey kind of thing going on that I got on the 86 proof one. There is a darker, dare I say, brown sugar note. Not that you put that in my head, Swan, but you kind of did. But I'm not blaming you. But no, there is. I would say my first thought was like pie crust. I think of like pie crust. I've been kind of thinking about maybe I'm just really hungry because I've been mentioning pie a lot on this stream. But yeah, it's got like a bit of like a graham cracker, brown sugar graham cracker, or like cinnamon sugar graham cracker because there is some spiciness, so it could be from the cinnamon sugar kind of thing going on. But let's go ahead and try it. Well, first of all, cheers to our newest patron, Tony. Great supporter of the show, friend of the show, but now patron of the show. This one's to you, my friend. Cheers. Oh yeah, that is a significantly for me. And again, I'm disclaiming this because I love high proof whiskey. That is a significantly better pour. I think it kind of combines the things I loved about the first one and the second one. So it has the sweetness and the honey, like floral kind of thing going on up front. But by mid palate, you've gone darker. You've gone more to like the pie crust, the I don't want to go about a pumpkin pie, but there's a little bit of that cinnamony spice mixture there. So it's not like a pumpkin spice latte. Don't get excited, some of you, or get dismissive, the rest of you. But it does have some of those like kind of like pumpkin pie spices going on. Definitely some brown sugar. This is really good. Why can't we get this in Southern California? Is what I want to. That's my biggest question to you, Jim Beam Distillery, because like I'd buy this. I said the 100 proof is on my bar regularly. I'd buy this for $30. I think it's more value if you like the higher proof whiskey. And even if you don't, you can proof it down, get it to 86 or 100 proof, get more whiskey for the buck. So, wow. I'm going to have to go for a second sip, and I want to get caught up on the chat and make sure I didn't miss anything. James said local store has three tongue gold Swan. I was like, GS. I was like, no, that's not what I'm drinking. Swan said, welcome to heaven. Oh, I assume you're talking about this 114 proof. Yeah. That's so much more. So much more going on. I got to have another sip of that one. Yeah. And I just keep saying yeah, but like it works. The proof works. The I mean, I do think it the only thing that would improve it, I think, is age, because it does kind of have some of those qualities of a younger rye, which I understand, but it kind of it leaves me wanting a bit older. But again, for $30, like, can I really complain about a $30 whiskey being too young? No, not at all. Coin Sense and Nonsense says, "Hello, Clifton. Awesome catching you live." Well, hey, first time seeing you here live too. But thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to the chat. Hopefully you enjoy yourself. Maybe if you're drinking something, let us know what you're drinking. But always great to see new folks in the live. If y'all are lurking in the background, feel free to say hello. Don't be nervous. There's a lot of regulars here, but I always love welcoming new folks. It's a great whiskey community here, which is why I promote my Discord so much. If y'all are not yet on Discord, seriously, such a fun community. You don't have to be a patron. Everyone is welcome. The link to it is in the description. If you've never been on a Discord, join it. And you have any questions, just message me. I'll help you out. It's just a fun message board for us to get together, chat whiskey, do random hangouts, watch things together, play games, and just chat and share bottles we're picking up. So welcome. Anyone's no pressure, but it's a lot of fun. Wait, Cliffy Bus shirt. Oh, well, thank you for noticing. Yes, I am indeed wearing my Cliffy Bus shirt, and I don't. Oh, there you go. There you go. The new banner. If y'all are curious, I have this shirt and many other like it on my Threadless store. Link to it down there. There's a sale going right now. I think the shirt's only like $13. So if y'all do want to support the channel, wear your Cliffy merch. I do have some regular, less, less obnoxious shirts on there as well. Hello, focus. There we go. Y'all can go check that out. bourbonbites.threadless.com. Those do support the channel. There's also, I think I have a face mask on there as well. It's a really cool face mask. It says like insert bourbon. It's like a coin slot, but it's like a face mask. I bought that at the beginning of the pandemic. I thought it was cool, so I wanted to share with y'all. But yeah, thank you for checking it out. And of course, get your Bourbon Bites challenge coin. I'm gonna continue doing the $15. I think at this point, I'd love to sell those. If you're interested in a Bourbon Bites challenge coin, I'm just going through my little tickers down here. You can support the channel that way as well. Really cool metal challenge coin. No match value, of course, a reference to old arcade machines. Just really cool. Additional merch we have available. Now that we're doing a little merch break, but I'll put it back up the Patreon thing just because I know a lot of y'all are curious about that. Jeffrey Wack is here. What's up? Good to see you. Y'all check out Hello Again Whiskey Friends, and a relatively new whiskey tube channel here, made with people that have been in the community for a long, long while. Go check them out. Jeffrey, good to see you in the chat. Mish has a 10-year ECBP pick and a Russell's pick. Oh. I bought their 10-year ECB pick. It's amazing. It's actually one of my favorite ECB picks I've had. Haven't tried their Russells or Four Roses, but I am intrigued. Getting caught up in the chat. The 114 is awesome. Yeah. Wow. I'm gonna come back to that one. It's also a good bit darker. Like, I mean, it makes sense, right? It's higher proof, but there's a bit more color on that one. I'm gonna save it and come back to it. Swan said this is very good in Manhattan. I don't doubt you one bit. I'm sure. Can't wait to try that one. It's gonna definitely, I don't have enough of it to make a cocktail, but I can just imagine it in the cocktail. It'd be really good. I'll have to keep an eye out to make sure we don't have it in our area. Chris said, moved on to my other open rye, Jack Daniel's barrel proof rye. So good. Oh man. Lucky you. Lucky you. I have not seen that in a very, very long time. Is there Old Crow 114? I don't think so. I've not seen anything above the standard Old Crow. But good question. Maybe that's the next one. Swan said, for me, the other two are great for the buck, but this one feels complete. It's gone far above a mixing. That's what I was saying. Like, I don't know if I wouldn't use the rest of my sample in a cocktail. I want to sip it neat. It's really, really good, though. Cool. Just want to make sure I'm checking out. I'm keeping up. Love the Cliffy Buzz. After last year's Mount Madness, I'm drinking Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered. I saw that in Total Wine today when I went to go pick up this bottle. My Total Wine had the Uncut Unfiltered. It was like 76, which has gone up a little bit, but not an awful price. I decided to skip it this time, but always loved that bottle. Really, really good one. Thank you so much, though, for best challenge going around. I can't say that, but I do. I do think I did it. I pat myself on the shoulder a bit. That wasn't my shoulder. I was pat myself on the shoulder a bit for that because I thought it was pretty cool. Adam Free says 100%. Oh, thank you. Top Shelf Dustin. What's up, Dustin? Good to see you. Cheers to you. Y'all check out his channel as well. Love seeing all the community here tonight. Y'all are awesome. Love y'all. All right. Let's keep moving. We got one more sample to drink tonight. We got this one also comes to us from our friend Swan. This one's an even rarer release. This one came out at the same time as the 114. This is Old Overholt 11 year. So this one MSRP is about $75. Comes in at 92.6 proof. So stepping back down in proof below the bonded. So we're going down 2 steps in proof, but we're going up. We're almost triple the age here. I'm really curious. You know what? I have some really great 10-year-old rye that I love from Indiana. Templeton Rye, they have a 10-year release. It's like 110 proof. It's like $80, so similar price point. One of my favorite bottles. Just I buy backups upon backups. Love that bottle. This one though, a year older, a little bit lower proof, and a little bit cheaper too. So I'm really curious to see how this 11-year-old does. Let's give it a nose. Oh yeah, we're in a whole new world here. Age on rye is one of the most defining factors. Even as much as I love bourbon, the differences between like a 4-year-old bourbon and like a 9-year-old bourbon aren't they're apparent, don't get me wrong, but they're still like you immediately taste it, oh, this is a bourbon, right? With a rye, adding extra age to me just transforms the spirit because I think it adapts to age so much better. So even going from like a 4-year to like an 8 or 9-year rye is a huge jump. So we're jumping to 11 years. We're jumping up, like I said, math in my head, 6, 7 years older than the other ones that we were drinking. Now, comes with the price tag though. So I will say the nose, it's got me enticed. Matt says 11 years also very good. Very nice. Swan says, let's give a shout out to Todd Cooper for getting Perry and I these bottles initially. Oh, well, we always got to shout out Todd Cooper. Todd Cooper is our bourbon terabyte, which is my $50 level on Patreon. If y'all are curious about that, check out patreon.com for the details. That's probably one of the most bang for your buck tiers because not only do you get hangouts, you get a monthly subscription box. And I'm thinking about posting on Patreon just to show what those get every month. Not to set expectations because I don't want people to be like, oh, well, why didn't I get this in this month's box? Because it's like, it's month to month. It's based on what I'm buying and like what I think y'all will like. So I can't promise certain things in every box, but I'll just say the box that's happened already this month is a really great one. So I might post that on Patreon just to get people that are curious about it, considering, jumping that tier. I realize it's a big jump. I do try to get you your money's worth with that tier, is all I got to say. But yeah, Todd's an amazing patron and supporter of the show. I like the 11-year a lot, but the 114 has my heart. Oh, interesting. Good to know. Well, let's go and give it a try. Let's stop delaying. I'm really excited to try this 11-year. That nose, it's really got me interested. Cheers, y'all, and cheers to Todd, and cheers to all y'all. Heck yeah! Thank y'all for tuning in this Thursday evening. I know it's late for some of y'all. Man, for being 92.6 proof, that has an incredibly long finish. Like, the finish of that one is almost equal to the finish of the 114 proof. It lingers, and that oak, it's got a bit of, like, an oaky. The honey comes back on this one. It's got, like, a honey, but, like, darker. Maybe I'm not thinking honey. Maybe I'm thinking more of, like, a molasses. Really rich, syrupy sweetness, but coated in oak, coated in depth and flavor, and really, really complex. And I gotta have another sip before I give you all tasting notes. That's how interesting that one is. Oof. That's gonna be a tough decision between this and the 114. Yeah, we're more than doubling the price, but we're also more than doubling the age. Let's try it again. There's a little bit more of the nuttiness that I expect from a Jim Beam product in the palate. Not nearly as much as like a Knob Creek or anything like that, but there's a hint of that, like, I don't know if it's walnut or it's like it's not like a peanut note, but it's more of like a one of the more like, I don't want to say savory nuts, but one of the more less sweet nuts, if that makes sense. It's like more of like the bitter nut. Maybe that's what I'll go. I don't know. But it does have a bit of bitterness to it, but not in a bad way. It adds to the complexity and it adds to the depth of it. I think that's really working well with the oak. But it has a filling of like a sweet, sappy, maybe sappy. I don't know. That's not good. Is that a good note? I don't know. But it's like a sweeter core to it that I think carries through. It goes on the finish. It lingers on the palate. This drinks like a high-end whiskey, and the price, it lines up with that, right? I think, for $75, I don't really have very many complaints. I guess my only question would be like, why the proof? Why not bottle it at higher proof? Maybe it is cast strength. I don't think so. But 92.6, I really would wish this was at least 100, maybe even 114. I just think that's the only thing holding it back. And that's only because the price point, right? If this were like $50, then, I think it's totally fair and understandable. I think just being that massive of a jump from 30 to 75 is a little hard to justify for me. It's a great whiskey. If you love some of these older ryes, this will be right up your alley. I just think compared to the competition in that price point, not quite my jam. It's delicious, but not for the price. I think for me, I think I have a personal favorite here tonight. I think it's going to be a lot of y'all's favorite based on the people that have tried some of these. I think for the value, for $30, Old Overholt 114 takes the cake. It's not as complex or as deep or rich or oaky as the 11-year, but what it doesn't have, it makes up for in value and proof, right? 114. Yeah. And it's so good, like Swan said. I hesitate to put it in a cocktail because it's really good on its own. When a whiskey's that good, I think y'all have all had this struggle, right? You're like, those of you that do drink whiskey cocktails, you have a whiskey that just is so good on its own. You're like, do I put this in a cocktail and maybe make a really great cocktail, or make a meh cocktail and man, I wish I would have drank that neat. Maybe some of y'all get it. I don't know. But to me, I think I would be hesitant to put either of these last two in a cocktail. For sure, the 11-year. But yeah, for me, the 114. I mean, I'll go back to the bond. I'll go back through. Like I said, I did promise to go back through and compare them. Let's go to the bonded, $25, 100 proof. A bit hollow. Again, comparative going downhill. Not much of a finish. It's fine. It's a great cocktail bourbon, which is what I've been using it for. I would rather have the 114 any day if I had it available to in my area. And let's try the 4-year 86 proof. Honestly, the 4-year 86 proof, flavor wise, I think beats the 100 proof. But we are talking about it's only 86 proof, right? And for like $8 more, you get higher proof. I would say the weird thing is I would prefer to sip the 4-year, the 86 proof for neat, whereas I'd rather make the bonded a cocktail whiskey. So both of those I think are pretty equal, honestly. They're not even that different. I mean, let me clarify. They are different, but like in terms of value, 16 versus 25, it's close in price. Um, one I think tastes better, but the other one packs an extra punch with that proof and works well in cocktails. So for me, those are pretty equal. 114 is top tier for me for the price, $30, incredible. Wish it was a little older. I do miss some of those age notes on it. The 11 years, excellent at those, but for the value, I don't think it can be beat. Tony B, also welcome. I know you were hanging out in Perry's chat earlier. Might be your first time seeing you here, but if it's not, sorry. If it is, welcome. Good to see you. Are people finding the 11-year bottle in the wild? Have yet to see it anywhere. I know Swan found these, but again, it's been a while since he sent these over. Cohen says Cliffy wishes everything was at least 114 proof, and that's why somebody else has to drive the bus. Oh no, Cliffy drives the bus, but don't worry, he has no passengers, and he's also on an invisible road. So like, he's not breaking any laws. Maybe laws of physics, but not laws of the road or school buses. Don't drink and drive, y'all. Do not encourage. But Swan said I got a slight wet hay note on the 11. I found off-putting. It was very mixed in reviews. Okay, I didn't read. I always try not to read reviews when I'm giving a first impressions review. I'll read reviews when I'm doing an in-depth review and see like which notes I kind of also pick up on. But when I'm doing first impressions, I do not read reviews intentionally. I don't just be ignorant for no reason. I purposely don't want to be influenced because I'm giving my first thoughts. And as soon as I say my first thought, if I just read a review saying a certain note, I might say that note. So, oh, you know what? That was the 114. I was like, wait, why was it so spicy? Let's try the 11-year. Wet hay note. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever gotten wet hay. Usually I get a hay note, it's more of a dry. I could see where you're getting that. I'm almost wondering, I said earlier, it was like honey in the middle of like a very dry, like wood kind of thing going on. I did say some tartness, a bit of bitterness. I think we're picking up on that same note. I kind of dig it. I actually don't mind it, but I can see that's probably what you're getting on that. Coach says I haven't tried any of these, but nice to get an idea in case I run across them. Yeah, that's my goal here. Give you all my first impressions. Like I said, I can do an in-depth review of at some point, but I really did want to treat this as a first impressions review. The Cliffy bus is safe because it's virtual. Absolutely. Oh man, I'll drive anything on a video game. By the way, if y'all want to see my gaming streams, check out twitch.tv/bourbon bites. Haven't done it in a while, but I do want to pick up more gaming streams soon. I don't have the ticker. Dang it. Oh well. Twitch.tv. I spit everywhere. Twitch.tv/bourbon bites. I think that's a sign of me to wrap up soon. So yeah, this was fantastic. Thank you so much, Swan, for the samples, and thank y'all all for tuning in. Like I said, if y'all want to see me do more comparisons, I do want to reveal the results of that poll real quick to see what's y'all's favorite budget rye. That was an Instagram poll. I do want to see what the final result of that was. All right, closer than I thought. So I asked, what's your favorite budget Kentucky rye? I had 3 options: Old Overholt Bonded, Rittenhouse Rye Bonded, and Wild Turkey 101 Rye. Coming in first place was Wild Turkey 101 Rye at 50%. However, in second place was Old Overholt at 33%, Rittenhouse at 17%. A lot of turkey fans in the house tonight. I don't blame y'all. Turkey's freaking amazing. I don't have that one to compare, but you know what? Before we go, I do have a little bit of Rittenhouse Rye. It is a single barrel, so it's not a complete comparison. But I would like to do. Should we do a little quick Old Overholt Bonded versus Rittenhouse 100 proof, also bonded? Let me know. Leave a thumbs up in the chat if y'all want to see me do that comparison real quick, or else we'll wrap it up and we'll move on to the after party for Patreon. But if y'all want to see that, let me know. I'm happy to stick around for a few more minutes to do that comparison. Thanks, Emily, for dropping the Twitch stream there. Wild Turkey 101 Rye. I have backups for my backups for my backups. Okay, I need to revisit that. I haven't had it for a minute. But yeah, I love Wild Turkey too. Don't get me wrong, but haven't had the rye in a minute. I've had the rare breed rye. I think I killed my bottle of that though. I don't think I have it anymore. All right, I see a couple thumbs up. Some people want me to stick around for a few more minutes. Coinsense and Tony, the two new folks want me to stick around. Well, hey, the regular folks don't give a crap. They're just ready for me to wrap it up. Just kidding. Love y'all. All right, let's do a comparison, right? So I grabbed this Rittenhouse Rye. Like I said, this is a single barrel, so it's a little bit biased, but it is 100 proof. This is a single barrel from Mr. K's Liquor. I don't know, our friend Brandon told me to pick up this bottle when I was local. Somewhere, not quite, is it Orange County? I don't know if it's Orange County or not. It's a great beer store if y'all are ever in the area. Mr. K's Liquor. It's not quite Anaheim either. I'm not sure exactly where this is. Huh. Zopher says Rittenhouse is too sweet for me. And Emily says I can't get the Wild Turkey 101 Rye where you're at. Oh, man. Sorry to hear that. I can get it. It's just slightly harder to find than the rest. Well, I would say color-wise, the Rittenhouse is a little darker, but the Old Overholt is pretty close. Now, Rittenhouse, I don't know the exact age, but I'm pretty sure Rittenhouse Rye is a little bit older. It is at least 4 years old, but I've heard like it's like 6 to 7. I know Pikesville's 7, so it may not be 7. It might be 5 to 6. I don't know. It could be 4. I don't know. It's the same. It's about the same price too. So it actually might be 4 years. I just don't know. I thought it was a little bit older, but I could be getting confused with something else. I could be thinking of like Elijah Craig. All right. Let's try the Old Overholt bonded just real quick to set my palate. It's solid. It lacks a bit of a finish. It's got good proof on it though. William said, finally found a Rittenhouse here. Great bottle. Going to reserve a place on the shelf for that. Easy sipper and price is phenomenal. Agreed. The price is actually was one of my first ryes that I regularly kept stocked. I ventured away only because I was exploring other different ryes, but yeah, it was my original go-to rye for sure. Come says time for rare breed bourbon to go non-chill filtered like the rye and not just the duty free. I was gonna say I have tried the non-chill filtered one. My friend Brendan shared a pour with me. I will say I didn't notice that much of a difference side by side, but I do know that like some people swear by it. It could have just been my palate the day. To me, it was pretty close. It was pretty close. I couldn't quite distinguish them. I'm Orange County as well. Not good for finding whiskey at retail. Yeah, I haven't done much exploring in that area. We have some Orange County friends here that they're. I don't know if they're in the chat now, but there are some few folks here in that area. So maybe y'all can share some tips with each other. I know Chris is down in San Diego, so he's a little bit further. But rare breed rye is better than rare breed. That's a hot take, but I'm here for it. Rare breed rye is amazing. Just found it open on my shelf. I'll go there next. Well, Chris, cheers to you. Let me just try real quick Rittenhouse. Why not? All right. Cheers. I'm sighing because I'm like trying not to be a Heaven Hill fanboy. As most of you know that have watched regularly, Heaven Hill is my favorite distillery just in general. They've just made some of my favorite bourbons ever. And this Rittenhouse just brings me back home. Not home as in literally home, but like when I'm trying to reset back to like what I know and love about whiskey, Heaven Hill products do it for me. And this Rittenhouse is no exception. It's sweet. Someone said that it's too sweet for them, which I totally understand. For me though, that's really nice. It's not what I look for in a rye. Don't get me wrong. The Old Overholt is a lot more rye forward, and that's why it's my cocktail rye. Rittenhouse, though, just as a sipper, I'm back home. I'm sipping. I'm chilling. Back in South Carolina. I guess it does take me back home, literally. But yeah, man, Rittenhouse rye, fantastic pour. Yeah, for me, again, it is a single barrel, so it's a little hard. It beats the bonded Old Overholt, but that's just personal preference completely. Heaven Hill for the win. So at least someone else is out there like that. But hey, these Old Overholts are really, really fun. So fun to taste all the way through, compare them side by side. Again, big shout out to our friend Swan for making this happen. Hey, and also shout out to all the new subscribers and patrons. I saw a couple of subscribers come in. I appreciate every single one of y'all. If you haven't yet subscribed, it's free. It's down below. You can also hit the bell button to be notified every time we go live. Like I said, Thursday nights, but also just sometimes I'll go live randomly. You never know. Usually on Twitch though. But hey, thank y'all so much for tuning in. If you're watching the replay, I appreciate you. Leave a comment below which one you think is your favorite. But for the rest of y'all, hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. We're going to head over to Patreon for our after party hangout, which is for everyone $10 and up. Y'all know the drill. You can get in on that free trial right down in the Bourbon Megabytes trial. But hope to see y'all soon. Like I said, no live stream next week, but live the following week. Have a good rest of your night. I don't know. I was going to say stay safe because y'all got me thinking about drinking and driving, which I do not recommend. Stay safe, stay home, drink bourbon at home, drink rye at home. Or if you're going out, get a ride, not on the Cliffy bus. All right, y'all. Cheers. I'll see you next week. No, I won't. I'm so bad at these outros. I'm like talking all over the place. Cheers. See y'all in 2 weeks. And until next time, this has been Bourbon Bites. Have a good one. Bye.